I think we all have our own favorite Pokemon games, and naturally, we each have our own reasons for liking said games. Some may like a game for its simplicity, others for its story, some for its music, whatever it may be. Now, you read the title, so I'd imagine you want to know what my favorite Pokemon games are, or more specifically, how I would rank them. Before we begin though, just some ground rules. One, this will only be covering the main series games and the best versions of those games. The remakes will also be counted separately, so no side spin-off games. If people want that, that'll be covered in a separate video, but that's it. Two, these are my opinion, right? If you like X and Y, I'm gonna look at you weird, but again, you are entitled to that opinion. Don't come at me for me disagreeing with your opinion. Or do, just boost my engagements, but yeah, do whatever you want, actually. Fuck it. And finally, these impressions are based on my last playthroughs of the game, so some of these games I haven't really played in a couple of years, others I've just played recently, so the opinions may be different. Maybe a year from now, we'll revisit those if we have to, but for now, that's what it is. Now, enough the rambling, let's get into this ranking.
She looked like she had never seen anything quite so horrible in all her life.
So if it wasn't obvious, I don't like Pokemon X and Y. Pros though, it introduced Mega Evolution. The original designs for some of the Pokemon are great. Greninja, Aegislash, Talonflame, Goodra, all of those are pretty good. And it brought the series into 3D, which I think is a plus. However, the story, everything about this region, everything about this game, I just feel so boring. It's very hand-holdy. The Pokédex, aside from those like banger Pokemon, it's small. And I think, in my opinion at least, the fact that the series has gone to 3D has really brought down the quality of these games. I mean, there's some, I guess, other examples of good games, but overall, I don't think it's been even close to at least the top of the list.
Oh! Ew! What the fuck?
Now, I've noticed it's a common thing to hate on Gold and Silver, or just Gen 2 in general, and as I've gotten older, I fully understand why. The game is a technological miracle, however, there's no getting past that. 2 regions in one game isn't crazy, and shiny Pokemon being introduced is pretty cool. However, the story is super bland. It's just basically a blander version of Gen 1, which I don't know how that's possible. The game balancing is super weird. Levels are nasty. The first gym leader's level is level 9. Champion is weird, and then Red has his Jack levels, so I don't know. It's not really good. And then in my opinion, I think the Pokédex is probably the worst the series has ever seen. Which is a wild take, I know, but again, my opinion, don't attack me for it, right? This hurts my heart to say, but Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl aren't good games. And I know this is Ilka's first rodeo making a game, but I personally rank this as the worst remake. Pluses though, they fixed the underground of the Pokédex issue. You can finally get a fire type besides Ponyta and Infernape. The underground is very fun. Music is great, and the post-game, in my opinion, isn't half bad. But the problems with this game, oh my gosh, the art style's bad. The glitches are so nasty, it's so bad. And it's just Diamond and Pearl. Like, it has, like, some of the Platinum, changes and quality of life changes, but overall, it's just not very good. And, I don't know. If it wasn't Diamond and Pearl, which I like, or Gen 4 or Sinnoh, I'd have this as the worst game, but just me being nice, I'm gonna have to rank this as third worst.
Go.
You love me.
Dude, are you 5?
Yeah, 5 inches deep in your bum.
Now, Sword and Shield have had some time to sit there and digest in my head, so I think this is the spot I'd like to put it at. Pros, the Gym Leader Challenge is cool. I like the focus on that. All the gym leaders have incredible designs, all the rivals, all the characters. I think it's pretty cool. Everyone looks unique, colorful, and fun. The music is great too, and I think the wild area and the DLC involved with it is pretty cool. I think Crown Tundra should be where the series focuses on going, which I think I noticed is kind of how Pokemon Legends Arceus is. I don't rank Legends Arceus in this list, by the way, but I do like how that direction goes. Problems though, there's no real direction for the story. Dynamax sucks. It's so bad. I hate Dynamax. It's the worst gimmick they've ever done. In the wild area, I mean, I just praised it earlier, but there's so many issues with it that it's growing pains. That's the way I would describe it. It's growing pains with the series.
Shout out to Trey Young, Nick. No, that's good.
Pokemon Red and Blue, it's the beginning. What else can I say? Like, yeah, I think it's blasphemous to say anything else about Red and Blue. It's the first Pokemon games. It's started it all. But the flaws, I think there's so many. It's a duct tape riddled mess. I think if you blink, you'll find a new bug in the game. And with all the remakes that have been made of this game, I think it's the worst way to play Kanto. It's just nostalgia that keeps people to play the game. That's pretty much it. It's nostalgia. But yeah, it's the beginning, so I'm gonna keep it right in the middle. I feel like that's not going to get me killed in the comments, right?
Why is he so, like, nervous?
Now, this is where I start to see the split in between the bad games, or quote-unquote bad, and the better games. Starting with Fire Red and Leaf Green. It fixes a lot of the issues that Red, Blue, and Yellow had, and adds quality of life updates. I still think it's the best way to play Kanto. And a lot of the mods you catch in Fire Red and Leaf Green, you can still bring them up to Sword and Shield. I think that's pretty cool. It's a little convoluted, but you still can do it. I think that's pretty cool. But it's Kanto. I've already seen it before. You can only use Kanto Pokemon in this game, so like if you wanted to use Crobat, for example, you can't because it just won't evolve. And it's just it's a pretty game. I mean, I grew up with it, so I mean, it's okay, but it's a pretty game.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Now, it may be shocking for some people to see me rank Let's Go so high, even over Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I actually really like this game. It was relaxing. It was a very relaxing experience. I liked the catching mechanic. It was pretty cool, and I think it has the best way of shiny hunting, in my personal opinion. I like the mechanics. I like how the Pokemon spawn in the overworld. It's very nice in game. It looks nice. It's very fun. It's very chill, but it's Pokemon for babies. Super easy. It's only Gen 1 Pokemon, aside from like Melmetal, and then it's just Kanto. Like, we've seen Kanto so much that it's old news. It's old news. Now, for some of these lists, I'm noticing a trend of Sun and Moon being very low. Why is that? I think that aside from the first games, which, I mean, the first games, right? These are the most innovative games they ever made. I think the trials are better than gyms in a lot of aspects. I mean, sure, do I prefer gyms most of the time? Yeah, but I like how they innovated with it. It's probably the best looking 3DS game on the handheld itself. It's the best game they probably ever made. And that's including the recent games. I think Sun and Moon still looks great today. And I think the music is very good too. The story is also pretty nice. They kind of fudged it up in Ultra Moon, but Sun and Moon, I think it's a very nice story. It's very fun. It's very simple. Lily's cool. But the game does run like monkey shit on at least like a base 3DS. And I think that's just them pushing the limits of that poor little system, because they push that system to the limits. The Z moves are also kind of meh. I mean, they're better than Dynamax, I'll say that much, but they're okay. And it also, the game's very handholdy. So if you don't like the first island is just handholdy the entire time. So if you don't like that, you won't like this game. And these remakes, at least in my opinion, have aged possibly the best. There's another one on this list that we haven't seen. I'll get to that later. But I also put in 2,000 hours for this game. This is probably the game I put in the most hours into because it's competitive. It's probably where I got the most out of it. So maybe that's why I like this game, but I don't know. Mega Evolution returns, and it's expanded upon in a great way. All the megas in this game are really cool, aside from like maybe one or two. The remasters of Hoenn, it's pretty great. I don't have any complaints of it whatsoever. Very well done. The music is great. The character designs are great. And all the good stuff from X and Y returns. I didn't mention it earlier, but the PSS, that's probably the best way that Pokemon has done internet connectivity. And also the Pokemon Me stuff is pretty cool. Super Training is cool. It was steps in the right direction, and I like what they did with it. Unfortunately, though, it was too easy. Still experiencing those 3DS growing pains, and it didn't have a Battle Frontier. It had the legendaries, but yeah, the post game was kind of meh, in my opinion at least. The Delta episode. That's what I meant. The Delta episode was pretty cool, but that was pretty much it. Now this is where we start to get to the cream of the crop of Pokemon games, at least in my opinion. And a lot of these cons are going to be very, very nitpicky. Pokemon Emerald. I think, while the remakes are great and all, the best play to play at Hoenn is Pokemon Emerald. Battle Frontier, that was introduced here. The Pokédex, I think, is very fun. And it's a good challenge. It's a great game. It's a very good beginner Pokemon game, in my opinion. I think it's very fun. The region design, I guess, if you want to nitpick, the region design is kind of meh. It hasn't aged the best in some regards. I mean, it is almost a 20-year-old game, which is weird to say, but that's the only nitpicky I can really find from Emerald. It just also, Hoenn is my favorite, so that's why it's a little lower than what other people would have. Now, the absolute best remakes, in my opinion, have to go to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I don't think that's much of a hot take, if anything. It fixes so much about Pokemon Crystal, like so much. Level designs, region designs, the level issues are still there, but like, it's still good. It's a great game. The music is great. I love the battle themes in this game. They really have so much post-game in this. They have the two regions. They added the Pokelathon, which I think is very cool. Nobody really talks about the Pokelathon. I think it's pretty cool. And the Battle Frontiers in this game. A lot of people don't really mention that, but they have the Battle Frontier. And you can catch so many legends. There's so much to do in the game that I think is pretty cool. If I were to label some cons, I mean, it's still Johto. He doesn't really take advantage of the Sinnoh and the Hoenn Dexes until late, like post-game, really. Maybe late into Kanto. And like I said, the level issue still exists. But that's pretty much it.
Oh, God, it's so good. So good. So good and tasty.
Now, Pokemon Platinum is my favorite main series game, but that doesn't mean it's the best. I will say that much. If you've been paying attention, there's two games actually that have not made the list, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Platinum is the best way to play Sinnoh, hands down. Do not play Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl if you want to play Sinnoh for the first time. Play Platinum. The Battle Frontier is great. The music is great. All the battles are great. Cynthia's the best champion to ever exist. Post game is pretty good. I think I already mentioned the Battle Frontier. And the Pokédex is just great. I mean, you have hits like Gallade, and Garchomp, and Infernape, and Staraptor, and Luxray, and so many others. And granted, they're evolutions, right, of older Pokemon that are, like, I guess are fan favorites, but in my eyes, at least, I think it fixes a lot of the bad Pokemon from Gen 2. Like, no one really cared about something like, Apom, right? But Ambipom, I guess, is cool. Not the best example, but, Magmar goes to Magmortar. Electabuzz goes to Electivire. Stuff like that's pretty cool. Issues-wise, the issue I mentioned in BDSP where they fixed it, that exists. A lot of the post-game legendaries, they're locked behind a mystery gift unless you cheat. That's pretty lame. And I guess, I mean, Cynthia might be too hard, but like, that's it. That's pretty much it for when it comes to nitpicking Pokemon Platinum. So these games, in my opinion, are the best. Black and White, and then Black and White 2. I'm gonna gush about the games. So, oh my god, the story is so great, the story is so great, the story is so great. N is fantastic, Team Plasma is fantastic, Gym Leader is fantastic, all the rivals fantastic. Everything about the story is so good, the music is so good. Every track's a banger. The Pokédex, I can go on for hours talking about how good the Pokédex is, but like, my favorite Pokemon, for example, is Victini, and that's Gen 5. So, I think that should just give you an example of how much I love Gen 4, or Gen 5, excuse me. But there are some issues, kinda, sorta. There's only Unova Pokemon in Black and White, which Black and White 2 fixes, right? Half the region is locked in postgame. That's a meh, right? But that's fixed in Black and White 2, and then some. They add more stuff. And then the post game in Black and White is kind of mid, aside from exploring the half the region, which again, Black and White 2 fixes. I mean, with the PWT and all the legends you can catch, and there's so much to love about this game. I can't really pick out a flaw. Like, if there's flaws about the Gen 5 games, please let me know, because I don't really think of any. I can't. And with that, that's my list. Any disagreements? Of course you do. Of course you have disagreements, right? It's a fucking Pokemon list. No one ever agrees on anything. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd like to disagree with them. Also, I stream a lot of these games on Twitch. You'll see that right there. Check it out. I'm playing through Alpha Sapphire right now, or at least like a hard mode of it. So if you like that, go ahead and check it out. I think it's pretty neat. But anyways, I'll be seeing you all later.